We're going to look at the Christmas tree up. We got the Christmas tree out here yep. And interrupt me if my internet gets wonky and it's just not good today. How was that? Does that work for everyone? So Jordan, your job is to interrupt me if the internet gets bad. Let me see. So
Deal.
Am I centered okay? I can't quite see myself, but does it look okay?
Yep, that looks okay.
That's awesome. Great. Merry Christmas, everybody, and welcome to Unplugged. Great to see everyone in here today. So here's the deal. I am loaded for bear. So the first thing I need you guys to do is grab a piece of paper. You have to write down what you're about to hear. If you have your laptop, great. If you have your iPhone or smartphone, you have a note-taking feature. Get it out. This is going to be very interactive today. I actually have 2 key salient points, which is good because it's already 1:12. And then we're going to do Q&A. I really think we can all benefit from the Q&A. So if you have a question, write it down. You'll look brilliant to everybody, okay? So we're going to get cranking on this. So hopefully by now you've got a piece of paper and a pen. I prefer that you write it down in your own hand, but let's get started and rock and roll. Again, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and hope you guys are getting in the mood and enjoying the month of December. It is my favorite time of year by far. Okay, so number one, first thing I want to do is today I'm going to offer some advice for 2022 to make it a flippin' unbelievable, dynamic, life-changing, life-empowering, earth-shattering, earth-moving, history-making kind of a change agent for you, for people around you, life, that you can be the kind of person you always dreamed of being, that you can love on, help, encourage, inspire, motivate, train, educate those around you. So number one, here's my first question for you. It's going to be kind of introspective today. So I started preparing an hour ago with a cup of coffee, just overlooking the Caribbean Ocean here. It's a beautiful day in the Caribbean. But number one, are you on track? I think that's the first thing you should ask yourself. You get some time, get away. Am I on track? Now, I'm going to kind of be focused on business stuff, but it could be with your health, with your relationships, with your spiritual life, with your financial life. Are you hitting your goals? Are you on track? Are you excited? Now, if the answer is yes, then keep pounding away. Stay laser focused. We can all get those lasers at 7-Eleven or AM, PM or some convenience store. You buy it's a pointer and you can point at things. It's kind of fun to mess with. But then there's some really powerful lasers that will go out a mile, 2, 5, 10 miles. And then you have what are called industrial lasers. And literally, big manufacturing companies will use an industrial laser, which is focused. It'll cut through a steel beam. It's condensed light. It's focused. And so you got to allow yourself not to be distracted. So the first thing I want you to write down is this: say no to good things. Helping at the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts, good thing. Helping in a soup kitchen, good thing. Helping your church do a flea market to raise money for buy food and warm coats for the homeless, good thing. All good things. And maybe it's your number one thing. Maybe that's what you should be doing. But you kind of feel guilty if you're not doing every Bible study group at church, every volunteer thing that comes your way. And I'm telling you, some of the most successful people in the world have to say no to good things. There's hundreds, if not thousands, of good things you could be doing. So don't feel guilty about it, but you need to say no to good things so you have time, so you can make room for great things, right? Well, I get up early to work out in the morning if I just had time, but I'm too tired because I stayed up last night till midnight. Sometimes writing a check is even more valuable. Sometimes you need to go serve. I've been to Guatemala. I've been to orphanages in Guatemala. I've been to orphanages in the Dominican Republic. I've been to Tibet. I've been to Chengdu, the center of China. I've smuggled Bibles into China when they were illegal through Hong Kong in 1999. I've done that stuff, and I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but there's a time to go and serve, and there's a time to focus. And so hopefully 2022, you decide which time it is for you. I'm not saying you shouldn't serve. I'm not saying you shouldn't focus. Maybe, you got to decide for you. So let me ask you a question. What's the one thing you can do this year in 2022 to make the biggest change in your life? So I have a multiple choice question. I'll say the question again. What's the one thing? There's a myriad of things you can do, but what is the one thing, if you could really pinpoint it, that you could do in 2022 that would bring you the most joy, peace, happiness that you would feel great about? Is it A, selling more homes? Maybe you're selling 30 and you want to sell 50, or you want to sell 60, or selling 100 and you're trying to get to 200, or you're selling 700 and you're trying to get to 1.4, 1400. What is it? A, selling more homes. B, buying a timeshare. C, maybe you want to become a listing agent and you listed 20 homes last year, but you'd love to list 30 more and get to 50 homes listed in 2022. Maybe you list 50 homes here and you want to get to 80. And think, man, just list 30 more homes. Or D, is it sponsoring 10 new agents into EXP? So I don't know. It could be something different for each one of you. You got to decide it. For me, I had been, selling more homes, working on that for decades. I already bought the timeshare. Like most suckers out there. I had one of those in Mexico. Already had those trophies. Listing 30 homes, already been there, done that, had that trophy and the scars to prove it. The sponsoring the 10 more agents, I had never done that. So did buying a timeshare change my life? No, it was fun. You go once or twice a year, it's fun, but it didn't change my life. Selling more homes changed my life? No, I made a living. It was great. I provided for my family. Get to the point where I remember one time my big goal was, my one thing was to go on a listing appointment every single day. If I could just go on a listing appointment every single day, I determined that to be my one thing for 2015. And I worked on 7 listing appointments a week. I called it the Big 7. And that was my one thing. And I'm just focusing on listing leads and going on listing appointments. And then I would list all these homes and make all this money. Wouldn't life be great? Take all the sign calls, internet leads, family, friends, neighbors, coworkers, all the spinoff, the open house leads, and give it to my 18 partner agents. I had 12 buyer agents and 6 listing specialists, and I'd feed them that, but I would stay focused on listings, and I would stay focused on expensive listings. And that's what I did in 2015 and 2016. And then I enter EXP October 21st, 2016. The end of almost 2017 is when I joined EXP. And for the first time at all, I started listing agents. So I really don't know what it'll be for you. I decided the thing that would make the biggest difference in my life was to figure out how to list agents. So you got to answer that for. Now here's an asterisk. I put an asterisk. For some of you, what's the one thing you could do this year to bring the greatest change, peace in your life? I put stop drinking, go to marriage counseling, save your marriage or your relationship, lose weight, right? Read the Bible, pray, you're empty, you're successful, you have money, but you're drinking, you have a nice home, nice cars, and you just feel empty inside. Maybe this spiritual part of your life needs to be awakened in your heart. Maybe that's it. I'm happy to talk to anyone about that. That is a powerful thing. But what is it for you? It's a personal thing. What is the one thing? So you should answer that. So I go pick one. How about this one? Maybe pick one for your financial life. Like, man, I need to come up with a budget. Or I have a budget, but I don't actually use it. Use the budget. Or I'm going to save 20% of every check I get all year, no matter what it takes. And it goes into an account that I can't touch. Or 30% or 50%. Imagine if you saved 20, 30, 40, 50% of everything you made last year. And you learn to do more with less. You learn to say no to good things. Maybe going out to dinner is awesome, but say no. Maybe buying a new pair of shoes is awesome, but say no. You can get good shoes at the Goodwill that are, I drop off stuff all the time there that I buy at Nordstrom's, and people drop that stuff off. And you don't have to go pay, $450 for a pair of shoes or $800 for a pair of shoes. You can get it for $5 or $10 at Goodwill. You got to go to the ones where they are. Maybe it's pick something for your spiritual life. Maybe it's reading the Bible or praying. How about your spiritual life? I mean, you'll be dead a lot longer than you'll be alive, and that life is eternal. So maybe what's the one thing you could do? Because there's really 5 main areas of your life. There's spiritual, financial, health, recreational, fun. You can't be all work and no play. You will burn out. Some of you are at the burnout phase right now. And your business life, spiritual, financial, health, recreation, business. Those are the 5 that I come up with. And so, and maybe family, you're 6. I missed one, family, sorry about that. But and then pick one for each area. Like, what can you do for your health? Maybe it's drink more water. Maybe it's cut out sugar. Maybe it's go to the gym every morning at 5 a.m., 5 days a week. Maybe, I don't know, recreational life. 20 years ago, over 20 years ago, I decided golfing made me happy. I'd like to golf. Some of you it's tennis. Some of you it's pickleball. Some of you it's ride motocross. Some of you it's kite surfing. Some of you it's rock climbing. Whatever it is for you, it is for you. Good for you. Awesome. I love golf. So I decided to golf every Friday morning at like 6:30 or 7 a.m. I'm usually done by 10:30 in the morning, maybe 11. And then I get the rest of the day, do whatever I want. I didn't golf all day on Friday, but I get up at 5 a.m., 5:30, and that's what turned me on. If you like to fish, you get up at 5 a.m. and go fishing. You're all fired up, load up the truck, the fishing poles, the bait, the lures, the fly fishing poles, the tackle, the gear, and get a cup of coffee and baby, we're going to the lake, we're going to the river, we're going to the ocean, we're going to have fun. You're pumped up. You can't be all work and no play. So I would say no to multi-million-dollar listings. I would say, well, you have money. No, I did that when I didn't have money. I did that when in 2009 when I was begging a bankruptcy lawyer to go bankrupt. I still went golfing every Friday morning. I know I needed it. And so maybe it's hot yoga, maybe it's organic gardening, maybe it's hiking, maybe your big thing is hiking. And so you got to decide what it is for you. So pick one, but then there's like the big one. What is it? And for some of you, it has nothing to do with EXP. Again, it's stop using drugs. Alcohol, you may be having a good time, but you wonder why you're depressed. It's a depressant. Alcohol is a depressant. And so maybe you just need to really say, I'm not touching it for 30 days. See how you feel. So that's number one. Are you on track? If so, keep pounding away. And here's some things you do. So number two, say that point number two. Then we'll open this thing up a little bit. Of course, I'm down to 12% power. Love it. It's one of those days. Hold on. I am prepared. I got my plug. Let me see. Okay. Come on, go away. There we go. We're charging. Okay, so number two is, what if you're off track? You think, well, Brent, I'm not on track. I feel frustrated. I'm fed up. I'm miserable. I'm not happy. Two things. If you're miserable, you really need to do something like radical. Okay. If you're frustrated, that is a precursor to breakthrough. Someone type that down in the chat box. Frustration is a precursor to breakthrough. I hope you're frustrated. I hope you're just ticked off. But man, if you're ticked off at your state broker, at Glenn Sanford, at the board of directors, at anyone but yourself, you're ticked off at the wrong person. Do not give people that kind of power over your life. I get it. There's obstacles, there's challenges, there's things to overcome, but don't give your emotional energy away like that. Physical energy is far more easier to replace than emotional, mental energy. And if you're all worked up over politics and you're all worked up over this rule that EXP has, or this broker, or this particular employee that EXP has, you're taking energy and you're using it in the wrong place. So are you off track? Now, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing again and again, expecting a different result. So if you spent an entire year in 2021, you're like, man, it was just a flop. It was a fizzle. It was not what I wanted. And if I'm going to be really honest with myself, now some of you are like, man, I've been doing the same thing again and again. It's just not happening. 7 days does not count. I've been eating right, drinking water, and not even sugar, and exercising for 7 days. I don't notice a difference. You're not going to see it in 7 days. And it's really hard to see it in yourself. I've been prospecting expireds for 21 days straight. I've been doing open houses Saturday and Sunday for 3 weekends. I got nothing. 21 days is not enough time. Again, that is not, but I've been doing the same thing again and again, expecting a different result. You're learning 21 days, 60 days, you should start to see results for sure. Now, some of you, because you have excellent people skills and you're sanguine, you're outgoing, you're motivated, you're going to go out there and kill it this weekend. You will kill it overnight. That is a gift that you are that way. The rest of us, I had to, even though I am sanguine and motivated, I had to work at it weekend after weekend until I kind of learned, well, what do you say? How do you say it? What do you do when they say, I've already got an agent? What do you do? What I would say is, hey, there's no law that says you can't have two. And I guarantee you, I will outwork your agent. Give me a shot. What do you say? You do that? Yep, I do that. You know why? I don't own my clients. If you meet my clients and you can give them better service and help them find their dream home while I'm in Monterey, while I'm out here in the Caribbean, while I just missed it, I believe that they should have their dream home because you brought it to them. They should write the offer through you. I don't own my clients, and I have a news flash for you. Unless you do a buyer broker with your clients, you don't own them either. Now, why do you own your listings? Because you sign a listing agreement and they're committed for 60 days, 120 days, 6 months, a year, whatever time frame you put in there. And then you kind of have a really formalized agreement. But most people don't do that with their buyers. Now, the East Coast, they actually do a lot of buyer broker agreements. On the West Coast, nobody does it. Okay, in the Midwest, a lot of people don't do it. So it just depends upon what part of the country you're in. But here's the deal. I had to learn to say to people, you give me a chance, I'll guarantee you say jump, I say how high. I will turn over every leaf, move every rock. I network with 30, 40, the top agents in Sacramento, in Phoenix, in Miami. I will find you the home of your dreams. Give me a chance. I had to learn how to talk to people like that. Is that what you do at your open houses? Well, no, I don't do that at my open houses. That's why you suck. That's why you're not getting results. You got to get a little fiery in there. You think, well, is it okay to take people? Yes, because most people give horrible service. They're just like, what do you want, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath between $250,000 and $300,000 in this town? I can't find anything. They deserve to have their clients taken. Like, what if your dream home was not at 350? What if it was at 370, but we offered 340 and we got them under 350? Okay, yeah, show me homes up to 370. Now, you said you want Orlando. Would you consider Melbourne? It's outside of Orlando by 40 minutes, but everything you're describing is in Melbourne. It's a beautiful community. You would love it. Great schools, blah, blah, blah. You know, I never really thought, I guess we would. See, now you're cooking with gas. You're learning, but I had to learn to do those things through pounding away. So sometimes, now this is rare, but I've seen the breakthrough where people are doing the right things, calling the expireds, doing the for sale by owners, doing the open houses every weekend, calling the internet leads, but it takes sometimes 120. Now, internet leads, it could take 9 months to a year to really cultivate those. But on most other lead sources, and this is rare, I've seen it take a few times 120 to 150 days. Because sometimes you guys are 3, 4, 5 months in, you're like, it's not happening. Hang in there. Krista Proctor, my star agent, I gave her my entire team when I went to EXP, said you could have half the income from all 18 agents. You coach them, you help them. I'm going to go build this giant company called EXP. I'm focused on agent attraction. She goes, okay. And she became the mother hen to my 18 agents. I no longer was in that role. I was still there for them and around, but I put her in charge. I gave her 50% of what I was making. So if I was making 40% on an agent, 60-40, she got 20, I got 20. If I was making 50%, she got 25%, I got 25%. And did it work? Oh my gosh, a year later, I went from 18 agents to 877. You know, I made $255,000, but the second year I made 1.5 million. And the third year I made $3.5 million. And then way more, it just kept growing and growing and growing. And so here's the deal. That was my journey. That was what I chose for myself. You may not want that. You may not want to have all that stock and all that revenue share. You don't want to have tax problems where you live in the Caribbean. You know, you're like, let me turn this thing around so I can see. Yep, I'm still here. You may not want to wake up to the ocean. You don't want that every single day. I could understand why that would be terrible and that would not be something you'd be interested in. So I'm teasing you guys, of course. But so let me ask you a question. Some of you are doing these things and you're not getting your breakthrough. Have you read The Greatest Salesman in the World? That's like basics. Like if you have not read The Greatest Salesman in the World by Og Mandino, I have empathy for you. I feel sorry for you. You're like at a pistol range and there's a contest and you lack the pistol in your hand. You got to go get that book. Somebody's like, oh yeah, I've heard him say that before. Do it now. Like execution trumps strategy every day of the week. Order the book now on Amazon, whatever. If you're in Sacramento, I have 10 copies in my office. Rob's there. He'll hand you a copy right now. Go to my office, ask for a copy of the Great. I hand them out like candy, little paperback. You'll read it 2 or 3 nights. Changed my life irrevocably in such a good way 35 years ago. There was like Jesus, that was huge. That was the big one. And then that book, another great book, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Oh yeah, I've heard of that, but that's just about manipulating people. No, it's like taking the time to remember someone's first name. What's the most beautiful word in the English dictionary, in the English language? Someone's first name. Hey, Brent. Hey, Rob. Hey, James. Hey, Phil. How you doing, Tom? Hi, Cheryl. Hey, Jeff. What's going on, Tony? People love their first name. Sounds good. And so you got to learn people's name. You got to learn to look them in the eye, give them a firm handshake. You don't bone crush them. Well, everybody does that. You know what? Not everybody knows that. And that book is such full of, it's like next to the Bible has been printed more than any other book in the world ever of all time. Next to the Bible, it's Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's been printed like 70 million times. I don't know, some crazy number, and you haven't read it. Again, this is why you're failing at real estate. This is why you don't know how to relate with people at an open house, or when you're going, calling on the expireds, or farming a community and door knocking for leads, because you haven't learned the basics. And so The Richest Man in Babylon, another great book about acquiring wealth, saving money, not going into debt. Phenomenal book, The Richest Man in Babylon. Or you think, oh, I'm reading Scaling Up by Vern Harnish. That's great. You're scaling up. It's a great book. Vern Harnish is a genius. You should read the book Scaling Up. He's probably my favorite speaker of all time. He's absolutely, every word, every sentence the man says is brilliant. It's about building scalable models and making your business scalable. That's great. But if you have bad habits, you're scaling bad habits. You're multiplying sales failure. And so that is why you need to get the basics in first. Now, when you've done all that and studied that stuff, then you do scaling up. Are you attending and going to real estate events? Now, I'm preaching to the choir. You guys are all here. That's flat out awesome. Are you going to Tony Robbins stuff and 10X with Grant Cardone? Are you going to John Maxwell stuff? Do you listen to Jim Rome? Do you even do any TED Talks? Have you heard this stuff on YouTube? Like discipline equals success. Have you watched that stuff? Just type it in on YouTube. Oh my gosh. And there's so many ways to educate yourself to invert that learning curve to go straight up. Are you doing it? I get the fact you want things to be different, but you need to do different things so you can have a different result. Unless you know it, remember, I'm reading, I'm exercising, I'm doing all these things right. I'm doing 50 door knocks a day. I'm calling 30 expireds a day. Whatever my thing was, radio and open houses, and then teaching my team how to do it. And I got up to over 429 sales a year, of which 318 were strangers we had met at open houses. We were very good at that. I was quite happy. That was kind of my thing. What is your thing? What is the thing that you are the master of? I don't want the jack of all trades thing. I do a little this, little that, little this, little that. How's that working out? Yeah, I got a little money. A little this, little that equals little money. But when you could master radio and TV, or you master websites and internet and Google and paper and podcasts, and you get this huge soul search, you master that. Now that's big money. Mastering an area, dissecting it. For me, it was open house. I absolutely mastered it. I could pick up 10 or 15 clients, have all their information on a Sunday, and have 10 or 15 clients on Monday. But I paid the price. I did open houses where nobody showed up. I had to learn how to do open houses, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, let me keep going. So here's what I'm gonna open up a Q&A, but before I do that, I'm gonna make a recommendation. If you are frustrated, and if you're miserable, good luck. Miserable is a really bad spot. I hope you're not miserable. You're not at the bottom. But when you're frustrated, you're like, I'm at the bottom and I'm really pissed off. I'm angry. I'm just frosted, man. My cookies are frosted and they're not happy Christmas cookies. My cookies are angry little cookies. And so good. Frustration is the precursor to breakthrough. You're about to have a breakthrough now. Step up. Man up, woman up, baby. This is your moment. Enough. Do not become a victim. Don't blame, but just stop it. There's 2 million agents out there. We have 70,000. There's 1,900,000 plus that aren't here. Man, if you think it sucks and it's hard, it sucks and it's hard, and you enjoy that. You cannot think like that. You cannot. There's so much business out there. There's so much abundance out there. Well, it's hard for me to stop it. Stop it. That will not stop it. You got this. Come on, man. So I'm going to make a recommendation for you. If like I'm reading, I watch TED Talks, I've been to Grant Cardone, 10X, I've 10X'd up, I've gone to Tony Robbins, UPW, Unleash the Power Within. I even did Date with Destiny. It just happened this past weekend. I think maybe even going on right now. But here's the deal. You're still not getting it. May I make a suggestion? And we're going to open up for Q&A. A coach. You should hire a coach. What is a coach? They videotape your golf swing. They videotape your putts. They videotape your shots. They videotape your stroke when you're in the pool. Michael Phelps, he watched slow motion videotape on how he would swim. They videotape a horse race. They videotape the jockey, now he takes the corner, how he's on the hole. I didn't see that. They show you, they take that 30,000 foot perspective. Can't we see the stuff in other people's lives way better than we can see the stuff in our own lives? So that's what a coach does. They can see, they read your mail. I mean, they coach, that's what they do. Sean Kokoska would be a great coach for you. Icon coaching, Sean Kokoska. Randy Bird is a great coach. Bill Pipes with Tom Ferry coaching. Rick Jihad is coaching Workman's Work Solutions. There's Club Wealth. That guy's brilliant. Michael, I'm blanking on his name. I know his name, but anyways, Club Wealth. Wailopo with Wailopo. I mean, there's Mike Ferry. There's so much coaching out there. Go, I tried that, I didn't like that. Well, try something else. I've been to events I didn't like, and events, but I had to go to some stuff I didn't like. I had have some coaches I didn't like. That's okay. You find what works for you. So I'm going to open up for Q&A. I hope this was beneficial. So what you could type your question in the chat bar, and maybe Jordan, if you could read any questions in the chat bar, say, hey, I have a question from X, or if you want to unmute your mic or raise a hand or something, I will be happy to call on you. So don't forget to remute your mic once you unmute your mic. I think they can unmute themselves, Jordan. Are you there, Jordan? First of all, Jordan, are you there? Jordan there, did she step away? She may have stepped away because I'm on a roll. Yep, she's not answering. Okay, Rob. Yes, who's that? Okay, Jordan says she's here, though. She just, Michael Hellickson. Someone said Michael Hellickson. So, Jordan, you're in charge of reading any questions in the chat box. And then I'm going to also take questions from the audience. It appears the audience can unmute themselves, I hope. Jordan, can the audience unmute themselves?
Yes, they can. I do have a question in the chat box that says, who is the best coach for agent attraction? Okay, and let me just check one thing.
Good. The best coach for agent attraction, man, I mean, GoGo does GoGo's boot camp. There's Krista Mayshore. I don't think there's a best coach. There's the right coach for you. For some people, they love Randy Bird. Other people like Sean Kokoska. Other people think Rick Jihad's the cat's meow. Some people flipping love me. I don't do coaching. I do inspirational, motivational, educational type stuff. I'm not a coach, but that's not my thing. But I bet you I could get a few people to do it. But so you find a person you resonate with and see if they're doing coaching or if they'd be willing to coach you. But it's a gift. Like you could ask me and I won't do it. I'm just not good at that. So good question. Well, I'll try to be a little more concise in my questions. So Sean's last name is Kokoska. Someone can type that. Sean Kokoska. Good luck spelling it, but he's awesome. Icon Coaching. What's up, David? Other questions there, Jordan?
Yes. So we have one that says, do you suggest at EXPCon you suggested events? I'm fired up to do that, but I'm frustrated with finding venues. Any advice on where to look and not break the bank?
Yes, mortgage companies in their conference room and title companies in their conference room. And then you think, oh, I'm talking about a much bigger venue. If you've never done events, start small. Start small. Get something get a mortgage room that holds, 15, 20 people, put 40 in there. Well, that's uncomfortable. Yes, you want freaking uncomfortable. You want people lining the walls, 7, 8 people looking through the door sideways. What the heck is going on? Oh my gosh, look at the turnout. It creates energy. You want small rooms, big turnout. Small rooms, big turnout. By the way, we're releasing Event in a Box. Rob and James are in the room, and that gets released. Rob, are you here? Rob? Oh, there it is. Event in a box. Woo! So we actually giving you a checklist. We're giving you guys a checklist of how we do our events, like sound, lights, camera, action. Is the stage raised? Can they see the speaker? You know, how do you do? What are the topics? What kind of topics can you do? How do I start? You start with 5 people or 10 people, then you go to 20, then you go to 40. In the training I did, I recorded that last week or 2 weeks ago. It's like a 12-minute power-packed tsunami of information. You don't have to listen for an hour to learn how to put on events, but it'll help with retention. It'll help the agents get better, and it'll help with growth and sponsoring. I knew enough then. So great questions. Okay, what else, Jordan?
All right, so someone that Kat has been here 1 year with EXP, starting to do agent attraction in January. What are the best first steps?
Oh, by the way, I did forget to say one thing to our friend. If you're like, I'm already doing 30, 50, 60 person events, I've outgrown title companies and mortgage companies, find the mortgage agent you work with. And if yours won't, find another one and say, partner with me. I got a venue, it's $1,500. If I put you up there, will you pay the bill? And I'll put you up there for 5 minutes and I'll promote you. Trust me, they will pay $1,500 to be in front of 100 agents for 5 minutes. They will do it. Events paid for, coffee and water in the back. And I explain this in Event in a Box. It's coming out, and you'll be able to find Event in a Box at brentgove.com. We're going to have it up. I believe we're shooting for tomorrow is the goal, but don't kill us if it didn't happen until Wednesday or Thursday. We're shooting for tomorrow. Is that right, Rob? To have Event in a Box posted at brentgove.com? What would they find it under when they get there? What do they click on to find that? All the slides, and they'll be, if it's on YouTube, can they get the downloadable PDF? Awesome. Okay, back. Great. Thank you, Rob. I appreciate that. Jordan, I blew by. I kind of went back to the last question. What was the Cat? A year? What was that?
Oh, yep. Kat has been with EXP 1 year, so we'll be starting to do agent attraction in January. What are the best first steps?
Okay, so Rob, let's go to my website. Can we put on one of these screens my website, brentgove.com? Can we put it up here? Oh, there's Bill Pipes on the left over there, the business planning clinic. I love him. That guy's like the #1 guy for Tom Ferry. He came to Sacramento. We blew out Placer County Board of Realtors. It was amazing. But so Rob is going to, oh, we have a stage streaker over there. I love it. All right, so always new agents. So funny. Okay, so it's on the right, brentgove.com. So if you click on training, right, Rob, and then which is training for called for agent attraction, sponsoring agents. In fact, you could kind of see if you walk over here a little bit, you look, at the bottom, you can't see it because we can't scroll it, but it says your first. See the your first, right at your first, I'll walk over to it, 30 days. So come to brentgove.com, and right there, your first 30 days. Watch that. It has downloadable PDFs. Then it has the system right here. How to attract the systems, and it has a downloadable PDF. And then here is the 4 simple steps, which there it is in writing. My friend Kat, who's going to start in January, how you do it is right there on the right. You can download that PDF, read it, and highlight it, and read it, then highlight it. And it's 3 pages long, and it's step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, game over. I mean, I broke it down to 4 simple steps. That's how we got to 25,000 people, because we do events and we keep things simple. So good question. Jordan, any more questions?
Phil Hahn is wondering if 5 to 6% net monthly growth is good for your RevShare group.
Heck yeah, I think that's awesome. But James and Rob are more the numbers people, especially James. I don't know if James is in the room currently. Do you know if James is in here, Rob? Okay, do you remember the answer to that question? I'm not as much the numbers guy. I would be if I had to. James is a numbers savant freak. He's my business partner, and so he handles that. Well, everybody's getting email. Oh, yeah. Sounds like 5 to 6% does sound right. I must always given everything I got. But yes, Phil, that does sound like about the right kind of growth. All right. Jordan, anything else?
The last one is Crystal is interested in learning about agent attraction, but she's new, so a new agent, so she just wonders what you suggest when someone is new and doesn't know much about the business yet.
Okay, so this is a great one, Crystal. I love you. By the way, Nolly Williams. Nolly Williams concurs 5 to 7% is amazing. Nolly's a rock star. If you don't know Nolly Williams, get to know Nolly Williams. But Crystal, back to your question. This is a really great question because a lot of people are new. That's why the events are so important. Get events going in your area. Watch Event in the Box, even if you don't plan on doing them. If you don't have in your area, I know I'm going to be the Pope here. I'm going to bless you. You are blessed. I'll be the Queen of England. I will knight you on the shoulder. I'm knighting you. You grab the bull by the horns and step up. That's exactly what we did in Sacramento. There was absolutely nothing happening, and we just started setting up events. You know, how to sell 50 buyers a year, how to do a $100 million a year team. And we started getting speakers coming in, how to do social media, how to do luxury listings. And so my Event in the Box can give you all the topics that we have for 2022. We do it every single month. But Crystal, you can invite people to that. You're going to meet people at open houses. Agents come in and tour the home. You're going to get their card. You're going to be down at the board renewing your license, meeting agents. Always gather names, say hi. Don't prospect them on the spot. I mean, occasionally, if it's right to do it, great. But call them back. Hey, I really enjoyed meeting you last week, Brent. My sponsor, Sheila, said, I really enjoyed meeting you 2 years ago in Plano for 30 seconds. Thank God she went, he's not going to remember me. Guess what? I didn't remember her. But I felt like an idiot for not remembering her. And I thought, well, I had a little empathy. I'm like, well, I better listen to what this woman wants because I'm such an egomaniac. I couldn't remember her name. And so she said, I'd really love to get your opinion on EXP. I'm like, yeah, shoot. $100 million. So yeah, I'm always open-minded. What do you got? She shows it to me. I'm like, OMG. Are you kidding me? I've never seen anything that could hold a candle to RE/MAX until I found Keller Williams in 2009. And then I stayed 12 years at RE/MAX. They did well. Go to Keller Williams. 8 years at Keller Williams. Did great. Loved it even more. And then I'm thinking, that's it. I'll be there forever. Then I find enter EXP. So Crystal, those of you that are new agents, bring people to learn about business planning for 2022. Now, some people, we post these every Monday. Once a month, we actually post them on my YouTube channel. Somebody may be hearing this in April. So what? If you haven't done a business planning clinic in your area, do one in May for the next 12 months. It doesn't have to be for 2022. It can be for the next 12 months of 2022 and 2023. Just get one going and find who would speak. Find a speaker. Ask someone, would you do it? I don't know how to do it. Ask around. Just use your mouth. Get going. I check with a bunch of people. What's your definition of a bunch? 3. No, talk to 30 dang 3. 30 dang 3. Come on. Do more. The reason you don't have more listings, you don't talk to anyone. Open your mouth, go a little freaking nuts. Now I'm over dramatizing some things, but I'm like, when I shake you, wake up and go, come on, you can do more. I would do my open houses when I started from 1 to 3 and nobody was there. 2 hours later, I'd leave depressed. Then I'd go 1 to 4. Then I went noon to 5. Then I started getting out there at 8 or 9 in the morning, spending an hour putting out 30 or 40 signs. I'd start at 10 and I'd be done around 4 or 5. But sometimes there's so many people coming in because I spent an hour putting signs out when it was 105 in the middle of summer in Sacramento. They're rolling through the door at 4:35. I'd stay till 6. I'd stay till 7. I'd stay till 8. I'd be there at 9 o'clock at night. I started at 10 in the morning. I mean, you do 11-hour open house? Yes! Because I'm a monster. You need to be a monster. Your family is on the line. Your kids, you live in a house that sucks. You're not proud of it. You're not proud of the neighborhood. You maybe don't like the things because you were a wussy. And you need to step up and do an 11-hour open house if that's what you need to do. And guess what? That's what daddy needed to do. That's what mama needs to do. If you need to start your open house at 9 and go till 9 and do a 12-hour, then do it. Do what it takes, but don't moan that I can't make my car payment. I don't know if real estate's for me, because you ain't doing it. Go door knock 100 homes tomorrow. Oh, my feet will get tired. I'll stop. I've been with my parents.
This is Holly.
Yes, Holly, go ahead.
That was awesome. I do have one last question. I'm on the app, so I can't quit to chat it. So full disclosure, I've been very resistant to the idea of a coach because I holding me accountable just sounds really. I understand that I'm kind of hitting a wall as far as my business is being slow. I see the value, and I'm pulled in a lot of different directions. Real estate investing primarily in short-term rentals. I self-manage them. I'm a realtor focusing on buy and hold investors. And then, of course, I'm a wife, and that's a whole other, job that needs a lot of fine-tuning and work. So those are kind of three main core areas that could potentially use a coach. But I don't want to get in a position where I'm like being held accountable every minute of every hour, and I'm just like uber stressed out,
Okay, so let me do this. Hey, Holly, it was hard to hear you, but I got the gist of it. You're resistant to coaching. I keep hearing you saying accountability. Not all coaching is a super high accountability thing. It could be very encouraging, very uplifting. They come in like a surgeon. They show you where you're messing up. I would get a coach for your marriage. I've been to parenting classes. I do counseling. Even to this day, I do marriage counseling for my wife and I. We want an exceptional marriage. We work on it. It is not perfect, but we are growing and learning every week, every month, every year. Get a coach for your business. You should have 3 or 4 coaches. You don't have any. You rattled off. You mentioned like I got 4 years. I could use a coach. Guess what? Get a coach. Try somebody, and I guarantee you they're gonna suck and you're gonna hate it. Then I want you to try somebody else, and they're gonna be okay. And then I want you to try somebody else. Like, oh my gosh, Kim changed my life in the area of being married, or in the area of listings, or in the area of agent attraction. It was Kim. It was Bill. Oh my gosh, Bill Pipes from Tom Ferry changed my life. So I want to challenge you to start with some coaching, and you could tell them, I'm not doing the accountability thing. I'm just not ready for it, because you're using that as your reason not to do it. And I want to challenge you to do it. And then it could be like 20 minutes once a week, 30 minutes once every 2 weeks. It doesn't have to be this big accountability thing. It's tripping you up. Was that helpful, Holly? She hung up on me. She had enough. Okay, we got time for maybe 1 or 2 more questions, and we'll call it. Anybody else? Any chat bar questions? Oh, I know.
I have bad reception. Thank you, Brent. Thank you.
I was teasing you, Holly. You know I was teasing, then you hung up. Okay, so anybody else have a question there, Jordan, or do we get to all the questions in the chat bar?
We have someone with their hand raised here in the audience. Is it John? John, did you want to open your mic and say something?
I bet you he doesn't know his hand's raised. So maybe he does. John, do you know your hand's raised? He's like, right, it's up. Yeah, you put it down. I walk around with my hand raised all the time. The avatar goes up. Okay, last chance. Anybody want to unmute their mic and ask a question? Or you good to go? You clear about Cabo? You clear about EXP shareholders in June and what you need to focus on there? Everybody good? 3 seconds.
Thank you,
2
Brett.
seconds.
Thank
All
you,
right.
brother.
Love you guys.